whatnot mystery pull box auction stuff. So you have to remember that, you know, there's a lot of states in the United States that don't allow gaming or gambling. So if you sell to somebody that's in a non-gambling or gaming state, you better do it the right way. Um, and then if you ship it through the mail, it's federal. So you're going to face several charges. So you need to go on the site as a seller and read like every week or every few days about the whatnot mystery box, pull bags, envelopes, whatever you're doing, build it because it changes all the time. They just changed it again 2 days ago. They keep revising it. Now, whatnot can terminate your account complete over one really bad mystery box, pull, bag, whatever envelope. And people can report you while you're running it. And then when Whatnot reviews the video and they don't think it's cool, then uh, you're done. Sometimes they'll give you a warning, but you know if it borderlines on gambling or sleight of hand or deceit in any way, they can't take the risk of doing federal crimes. So they're not going to risk it for you. Um, I don't know how much longer they'll run those mystery things. If it gets too problematic, they may just terminate them altogether. So be careful. It's hard to get on Whatnot as a seller. So take pride in what you're doing and be careful to do it right. Um, I've gone on a lot of them. There was a guy several months ago that had like 400 boxes, and uh, he had a huge brick wall stack, and he kept the boxes, on camera. But then when somebody won, they'd say, "I want stack three, number four down," and then they would go behind the stack and pull the box out. Okay. And so then they, walk it around the front. The problem is it should never leave the camera. Okay. That's what Whatnot states on their site. The boxes or bags have to be in view at all times. And it doesn't leave the camera. It means it doesn't go here. It doesn't go here. It doesn't go down here. I watched a girl yesterday that was doing a wall box thing, and she pulls the item out the person bid on or won, and then she took the bag and put it down on the floor away from the camera. And I said, "Do we get to see what they won?" She said, "Oh, I'll do that later." And she picked up two other items from somewhere else that she was trying to sell and showing those on camera. Well, we don't know who's down there. Are they switching what's in that bag? Whatnot site says that you need to open the box, bag, envelope, whatever, on the camera. Okay? That means, you pull it, you open it, you show them what the win is, if it's product in there or numbers, whatever you're doing, and then move on. Um, you could even send it in the package, the actual envelope box or the winning paper. But you need to do it right. Um, I saw several of them where I went on there and I'm like, it'll say mystery box or mystery bag. And I'm like, okay, where are the bags? And they're like, oh, they're over there. They're supposed to be on the camera at all times. You don't block the view, nothing. They stay on the camera at all times. You don't turn the camera over here. You don't turn the camera over here. They're supposed to be in view at all times. That means even if you're showing jewelry, you can't block it. If I say, okay, here's your win, and I just covered the boxes up, you can't do that. because it shows deceit. Somebody might be over here switching boxes around, okay? And, the people that are watching on the other side of the camera can't see it. And you've just blocked it so no one can see it. It's illegal. It's called gambling. And it's deceit, sleight of hand. It's just like bad magic tricks. Not appropriate. Just like the girl that took the bag with the purse in it and pulls it off the wall and puts it below the camera on the floor. We don't know who's in the floor. We don't know if she switched that bag out for a different bag and is trying to keep the top winner, the most expensive product in the game so that people continue buying because maybe they'll lose the interest, because they know the top winner's already gone. Okay. Have more than one top winner. How about that? Uh, the next thing is that I saw another guy that was selling little things, and everybody's bidding away, and he had like 100 items. Okay. And the bid was like $10 and up or something. And I'm like, he had this piece of paper he would bring up on occasion, an 8x11 with a bunch of numbers on it. He would cross them off as he went. And I said, well, where's the bags or boxes? And he goes, oh, they're over here. And you saw like all these paper bags that were open. They had little numbers written on the front. And they were paper, lunch sacks open, sitting on the floor. So how do we know that somebody's not over here switching stuff out while people are trying to, do a buy it now or bid on the auction? So that's against whatnot policies. They got to stay on camera. The better option might be just to use envelopes because you can put them all together and keep them here. And see, like, I can take a whole rack and show the customer holding all the envelopes in my hand and go, okay, which one do you want? Because I'm on camera and the envelopes have not left the camera. So they got to stay on camera. So it's fair, okay? Put your odds. There's odds every win for this. Total 31 items. Okay? The only single winners are the high-end stuff. Okay? This is every win. Most of these are 2 and 3 items. Okay? I saw another one last night. And it was little packages. Like it was pieces of Xerox paper that were, with stuff inside rolled up into a little kind of a bundle. You don't know what you're buying, and apparently it turned out to be some kind of jewelry thing. And they just took a piece of Xerox paper and rolled up some stuff, and you didn't see it till after because when I clicked on, they had this big piece of paper all laid out with a bunch of jewelry that they were picking up and going, look at all these pieces, and this might be silver. I don't know if this is silver, and it was, they had a statement on there that there was so much gold pieces and so many solid sterling pieces or something, but we don't know. They didn't tell us how many bags there were. They didn't tell us the floor price, the average price, or the ceiling price. That's required and whatnot. Okay? If you're doing a 16 box giveaway, you got to tell them, I have 16 boxes today. Or we started with 16 boxes today. And this is what we have left. It has to be fair. Also, whatnot states on the site that whatever the person bids, they should receive items that are equivalent to what they paid. So if your floor is 25 and they bid 225, If they complain, okay, and want to return or cancel, they win because you're not giving them a 200 something dollar item. So be careful of that. Two, uh, you know, I was offended because I'm sitting there and this guy's picking up all this funky jewelry that's trashy. I didn't see anything worth crap that he was showing. And I mean, it was a bundle of stuff. It's like you didn't know how many earrings were in there, how many necklaces, you didn't know anything. And I mean, if he said grab bag of jewelry, that would have been a better title. Or resellers jewelry. Um, and I made a comment. I said, "What's the floor? What's the average? And what's the ceiling?" And 10 minutes go by, and then somebody comments on there, "How rude." Then the next comment comes up and says, "No, that's how they taught us in orientation." That's right. It's on the website. You want to run mystery box? You better go read the instructions because you have got to put a floor price. You have got to put an average price all the way across the board, whatever your average retail price of the item is. Plus, you have to put a ceiling price. If you have one item that's $1,000, that's your ceiling. If most of the wins are around, $40, $50 total for one win, then you put that as your average. The lowest price of all is your floor. Okay, that's what you put on the floor amount. So if the cheapest price is a $10 candy bar, then that's what you put on there, $10. Okay. You can't do raffles. You can't do drawings. You can't do any of that stuff. I saw, well, as a matter of fact, that guy that was doing the jewelry last night, he said, well, I mean, the stuff's even worth $1 bid. Well, we don't know what we're bidding on. I didn't see any jewelry. I said, where's the bags? He goes, oh, here they are. And he lifts that paper up with all that jewelry that he opened that somebody won. And there's a bunch of little bags on the table. Like, 9 or 10 little bags like this big. And it's like, what the heck? I mean, you don't even know what you're bidding on. You should have a video or a picture or something before you pack all that stuff up so people see what they might win or get or buy or however you want to say it. Because who's going to just buy a bag? I mean, you think the customer's really that stupid? That's deceitful. So you need to, show them. It's like people with Pokemon cards or, these funky pops, whatever they are. They have all that stuff right there, and it's kind of, um, easy to figure out. They're doing baseball cards, football cards, whatever. It's kind of easy to figure out. When you bid on something, it's going to be, one of millions of cards, and they're all kind of the same thing. If you're bidding on a little bag, I mean, is there a Buick in there? Is there, an Oreo cookie in there? What is in that bag? How many pieces are in that bag? I mean, it has to be legit. Like the jewelry guy. Did he say you get 10 items in every bag? Do you get 20? Do you get two? How does that go? What are you bidding on? I don't see any merchandise, except for when you open a bag. And you're not, you're starting to bid at like, 30 or 40 or $50. For what? What is the figure to start that bid at that? Because you didn't post the floor, the average, or the ceiling. And you didn't show them all the time on camera. They have to be on the camera. The stuff has to be on the camera, not on the floor, not on the floor here, not behind you. I saw one guy did, and he had like over 30 items he was doing shoes, some real expensive shoes, and he had way over 30 items, and he was going for hours, and everybody was paying like $250, and the floor price was like 110. So why are you making people bid $250 for the open bid for an item that's 110 bottom line? But you claim that there's, an $1,800 shoe in the prize. So I'm sitting here watching this thing, and I clicked back and forth and went back to it and stuff. And one guy bought two $250 boxes. Okay, he doesn't have any of the boxes numbered. He has a little table, and then he's standing behind the table, and there's a wall, and you can pretty much figure out he's got boxes stacked from the floor all the way to the ceiling, but you can't see all 30 boxes. They have to be visual, okay? And so, he's sitting there taking all these bids, but he's not opening a box. You got to open a box and show it to the customer, okay? You can't just sell a bid. So if you figured, the 200 something dollars times 30 something boxes and how many hours it takes to run that out, how many people are coming up and just buying a mystery box for 250 bucks? It could go on for hours. It could go overnight. Here's the thing. He had sold about half of them when I got there. I don't know how many hours he'd been up, but he'd done half of them, but he didn't open one box. On Whatnot site, it says you've got to open the box upon the win and show the customer what they want. Okay. Um, so they do have some other weird description where it says after all the boxes are sold, then you can open all of them right there or something like that. Well, if they're running, 100 pieces, 100 boxes, okay, at 250 a hit, guess how many hours that could take? That could be 2 days straight on camera. And you can't do a continuation part 2 or any of that. It all has to be done in one video, okay? Because it can't come off the camera. There is no part 2. No. You want to end it early? You have to empty out all the boxes, show all the wins, and say, okay, we're done. That's it. It's ended. Okay? You cannot just go continue to tomorrow because people they're not able to watch your boxes unless you leave them on camera all night and all day to continue on. There's no restart the thing. No such thing. That's called gambling. Okay? It doesn't happen that way. So, be very, very careful when you're running, these mystery box pull, build it yourself, auction things, because, you need to realize how it's done. Okay? To keep yourself safe legally and out of jail. For one, it's federal, especially in a non-gaming state where you're holding it or shipping this stuff to a non-gaming state. You better be careful. So, that guy had sold like half of his boxes, like 15 or 16 at 200 something a pop. So he's already got like $3,000 and he's not showing one win at all. And I said, well, after about 4 boxes, I said, well, we don't get to see it. We don't get to see it. And, oh no, we do that at the end. And it's like, what is the end? When he sells all 30 something boxes? That's what he said. Well, heck, he'd already been on for many hours. He's going to, stay up for the next 2 or 3 days straight? I doubt it. And we're not even seeing all the boxes. Period. There's no numbers on the boxes that are behind him. So that's not legit. And so he expects to make $7,000 something dollars before he reveals what shoes everybody got. He said that he was doing a drawing after he sold all the boxes. Okay. That's not legit either on Whatnot. And you're not collecting $7,000 and then gonna do some drawing. Okay. If people are buying, they want to see what they win. You want to get paid, you got to ship. Now, there's some people that get paid before it ships, and that's really risky because, if the seller is, taking in that kind of money, what if they don't ship any of that stuff? $7,000. Um, it's not cool. Okay, read the whatnot website for seller. It tells you everything right there. They change it frequently, so keep updated all the time, especially on the mystery box because they change it often. They changed it a week ago. They changed it 2 days ago. They're not playing. Okay. Um, you can't do it like that. That's shady and it's crooked. The best mystery box one is Rockford, and he's on there a lot. And let me tell you, he does bags and he does collector's T-shirts. He's really a specialist on T-shirts. This guy really knows his stuff. He knows stuff I don't know anything about. And I've been in the clothing business for many, many years. I have a college degree in that. And let me tell you, I'm not a pro on the T-shirt thing. Um, and he is. He knows his stuff. And he is very professional in his auctions. He's very upfront and very fair. And two, one day I was watching him, and he had to go out to the mailbox to go get some, his mail and some packages before they got stolen or whatever. And so, he told everybody, he said, "Man, I really need to go out and get the mail." One of the people that were on there said, "You just go out and get the mail." So he had, little like blue plastic bags, okay, and he had like two or three left. These are clear, but they're not blue. And so what he did was he laid them on the table, the bags, okay, with the items that were left in that auction. And he went out to go get the mail, whatever, smoke a cigarette, I don't know, and came back in about 10 minutes. The bag stayed on camera, okay, never left camera. That's right. And then he came back and he finished his show, okay, and that's the way you do it. It's got to stay on camera, and there's no part two. Forget it. You want to end it, like I say, you have got to open up all the rest of the wins and show them to everybody, and then you end it, okay. And that's the end of the show. It doesn't continue tomorrow. There's no such thing. That's not fair game. So really the better option is to use envelopes or something. That way they're always in sight, and if you want to show the jewelry, whatever, you can bring the envelopes with the jewelry so they know there's no sleight of hand tricking or switching or anything. Do show them, what the odds are, and what's like. This is for each box. Total of 31 items, 16 boxes. Some of them have 3 items. And this is all the true wins. Like this one, they pick it. That way, I'm not worried about them canceling because they picked what they wanted. You see what I'm saying? They picked what they wanted in this one. But be very, very careful doing your whatnot auctions. And make sure to read the site. You don't just jump on there and go, "Hey, I'm going to do this." And buyers are not stupid. You can't just sell a bunch of, boxes and not show us what, what you're selling. You can't just show some boxes and then we don't know what you're selling. The people need to see a picture, a video at the beginning of your show, and then they can tell what you're selling. It has to be fair game. They have to know what they're buying. I am not buying a wrapped up jewelry thing for 30 or 50 bucks bid and not know what kind of jewelry it is, and then they open it up, it's all trash. Okay, so do read the rules. I'm telling you, it's no joke. There's a lot of legalities involved in federal legalities, so Read the website and do what it says. Don't just jump up there and think you're going to do mystery boxes and make tons of money like some of these other sellers that have a lot of followers. And they've got 2, 3, 400 people online that follow them, and that's why it sells like it does. And they sell good products, and they're not shady. So, but you better read the whatnot rules. Those boxes, envelopes, bags better never leave that camera all the time that you're on there. And you can't totally move the camera off of them because it's wrong. Whatnot will end it. They do not play. They do not want to get into gambling charges. So I just thought it'd help you, but you need to read the rules and the instructions before you do it. And when you list on mystery box pull envelope bags, you've got to toggle that little switch over that says, is this a mystery box or pull? Okay, whether it's on the buy it now or the auction side. You've got to put that on, and then it comes up with a thing, a little form that says average price, floor price, ceiling price. Okay, there's a description for the show. You can type some stuff in there too. But it's got to be where people can see it. You can't just go, well, it's at least worth $1 bid. Well, then why are you starting it at 30, 40, or 50? Okay, and I don't know what you're selling. I don't know what you're selling me. I have no clue. If I get on the Funko Pop place, I know it's all Funko Pops. If I get on a place that sells Pokemon cards, I know it's going to be all Pokemon cards. If I get on a place that sells, baseball cards, I know it's going to be all baseball cards. So, that's pretty easy to figure out. But jewelry, clothes, shoes, you need to be knowing, what it is. Is it pure trash? Is it, name brand? Is it solid gold? Is it solid sterling? What is it? Is it bracelets? Is it necklaces? Is it just a grab bag of some stuff? Is it paparazzi jewelry, which is mostly all plastic that's like for 3-year-olds? Oh my gosh. That's such total trash. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, you know what? I bought some paparazzi, a little bag, grab bag at a secondhand store. I wanted to buy everything they had because it looked good, but it's all plastic. It's like for little kids, like for 3 and 4-year-olds, really. And I could see why they donated it because I could get a tax write off because it's a total loss. But I bought that stuff. You know what I do with it? I give it to people in my orders online for eBay, whatnot, whatever. I throw a piece in there as a gift, and they could give it to their kid, I guess. Because I mean, it's not really for adults. It's like plastic imitation jewelry. Um, yeah. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Do stay on top of it. If you want to continue to sell and whatnot, follow the rules, read the rules. They do change often. Like I say, they just changed it again 2 days ago. So I hope you have a really great and profitable day, a blessed day. And I'll talk to you guys later, and best wishes on whatnot. I love you. Do something kind for a stranger.